My name is Mira. I was once a happy woman. I had a small but beautiful life. I was married to the man I loved deeply. His name was Arjun. He wasn't rich, but he was kind, funny, and full of love. We used to laugh a lot, talk about silly things, and dream about our future. We didn't have children yet. We wanted to wait until we were more settled. Arjun worked as a manager in a small shop. I stayed home and took care of everything else. Life wasn't perfect, but it was peaceful. I was happy. But one rainy night, everything changed. Arjun was coming home from work on his motorcycle. The road was wet and dark. A truck came speeding from the wrong side. It hit him. He died on the spot. When I got the call, I didn't believe it. I thought it was a mistake. I ran to the hospital with shaking hands and a breaking heart, but it was true. He was gone. The next few weeks were a void of silence. No sound, no smile, no reason to wake up. The house felt empty and cold. His clothes, his slippers, his toothbrush, all still there, but he wasn't. I cried every night. I asked God why. I got no answer. I had no job, no income. Arjun's modest savings were running out. The rent, food, bills, they all needed money. I tried to be strong. I told myself, you have to live. You can't give up. One day I opened an old diary from my college days. I had written about my dream of becoming a teacher. I loved reading and writing. I loved explaining things to others. And then I thought, maybe now is the time. Maybe I should try. So I gathered my certificates, ironed my simple sari, and went to a small private school near my house, Sunrise Academy. I had never been there before. My hands were shaking when I walked in. The principal, a kind woman in her 50s, looked over my papers. "Have you ever taught before?" she asked. I said, "No, but I want to try." She smiled gently. "You have a good degree. We are short of teachers. You can start tomorrow." I was stunned. Just like that, she trusted me. That night I couldn't sleep. I was terrified. But I also felt a tiny flicker inside me, like a candle being lit, a new hope. The next day, I entered the classroom. The children looked at me with curious eyes. Some smiled, some whispered. I smiled back. I introduced myself and began to teach English. At first, I was scared. My voice trembled, but slowly, day by day, I started to enjoy it. The children liked me. They called me Miss Mara. Their smiles gave me strength. One day during lunch, I met him. He was sitting under the old banyan tree in the schoolyard, eating a sandwich and reading a book. He looked young, maybe 25, with kind eyes and a warm smile. I sat on a nearby bench. He looked up. "Hi, you're the new English teacher, right?" "Yes," I said, smiling politely. "I'm Karen. I teach science." We shook hands. His hand was warm. "Do you like it here?" he asked. "I think I do." "The children are sweet." He laughed. "Yeah, they're little monsters sometimes." "But good monsters." I laughed too. It felt strange to laugh after so long, but it felt nice. After that, we talked often during breaks. Small talk books, movies, our students. But I started to look forward to those conversations. I liked how he listened. He never asked about my past, and I was grateful for that. One rainy afternoon, I was standing by the window, watching the downpour. It reminded me of the night Arjun died. My heart grew heavy again. I didn't realize Karen was behind me. "You okay?" he asked softly. I turned quickly, wiping my eyes. Yes, it's just… The rain makes me sad sometimes. He didn't press. He just stood beside me and said, sometimes rain washes the old away. It can bring new things too. His words stayed with me. I began to notice him more, his patience with struggling students, the way he greeted the security guard every morning. He was quietly, genuinely good. One day he gave me a small yellow flower. No reason, he said. Just felt like giving you this. I smiled, but inside I was afraid. I was a widow. He was young and free. What would people think? What if my heart broke again? One evening, as we walked home together, he stopped. The street was quiet. Can I ask you something? He said. I nodded. Are you married? The question froze me. I took a deep breath. I was. My husband? He passed away last year. He looked genuinely sorrowful. Mira, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. It's okay, I whispered. We walked in silence for a moment. Then he said, You're very strong. I can see it. I smiled, my eyes glistening. Something had shifted. That night, I looked at Arjun's photograph on my bedside table. Can I love again? I whispered to his memory. I didn't have an answer, but my heart, long dormant, was beginning to stir. It felt like the first fragile warmth of spring after a harsh winter. Time passed. My life had found a new rhythm. I still missed Arjun, especially in the quiet of the night. But now my days held laughter, the sound of children, the purpose of teaching, and the gentle comfort of Karan's friendship. My feelings for him were a secret I kept even from myself, a delicate bud I was too afraid to let bloom. After a school event one evening, he asked me to walk with him. The night was clear and cool. I've been wanting to tell you something, he began, uncharacteristically nervous. Life gives us deep pain sometimes. But sometimes it also offers a second chance. A chance to be happy again. He took a deep breath. Mira, I don't know when it happened, but I care for you deeply. I look for you every day. I don't want to rush you or frighten you. But I had to say it. Time seemed to stop. I thought of Arjun. Would he feel betrayed? Then I remembered his words from a lifetime ago after we'd watched a sad film. If anything ever happens to me, you must grieve. But not forever. You have so much love to give. Don't lock it away. Share it. I looked at Karan and felt a wave of peace. You don't frighten me, I said softly. His eyes filled with hope. Really? I nodded. I've been afraid too, but I think my heart is ready to feel alive again. From that day, we moved forward with quiet understanding. We started spending weekends together, walks in the park, cups of coffee, shared stories. He told me about his life, his dreams, his loneliness in the city before he met me. One Sunday, he gave me a blank journal. On the first page, he had written, For Mira, for all the pages of your life filled with tears, I hope I can help you write pages filled with love, I cried. But for the first time in so long, they were tears of joy. Months later, we shared our news with our colleagues. There were surprised looks, but also warm smiles. We didn't care for whispers. We had found something honest. Karan brought his mother to meet me. She was a gentle soul. She took my hands and said, I know about your past, Beta, and I know my son is blessed to have found you. We shared a meal, and laughter once again filled the walls of my home. Later, I stood before Arjun's photo. I touched the frame gently. "I will always love you," I said. "But now I must live." Karen and I married in a simple ceremony. I wore a soft pink sari. Our students brought us handmade cards. One read, "To Miss Mira and Sir Karen, please always be as happy as you make us." Now, every morning I wake up beside a man who holds my hand with tenderness. We teach in separate classrooms, but our hearts are entwined. Some nights, we sit under the stars and talk about loss, healing, and the fragile, wonderful gift of a new beginning. Every time I look at him, I am filled with gratitude. For life, for love, for second chances. My name is Mira. I lost love once, but I found it again. Not the same love, but a love just as deep, just as true. This is my story. Sometimes a heart breaks not to end love, but to make space for a new one to grow.